Economists and lawmakers that I've talked to say that if Trump ramps up those tariffs against China, particularly, that will hurt the U.S. economy. Are you saying, you know what, that might be worth it to sever ties between us and China?
Well, yes, it is something we have to do. But I think economists got this wrong. We got to go back to those 2018 tariffs. We know from studies China picked up somewhere between 75 to 81% of the cost of those tariffs. So the American consumer really didn't feel it. Also, we tend to think of tariffs as a bilateral matter, US versus China, but it's not. Tariffs are multilateral. So that means, if we don't buy from China, we'll buy from another country. And so I don't think the consumer is going to feel it to the extent that economists say. So tariffs are a much more complicated matter. They have effects not only the two countries involved initially, but many others as well. So I don't think the American consumer is really going to feel the tariffs, even if they're imposed at a pretty high level, because what business does is it does very, very well, which is to adapt to situations like this. They'll move factories, they'll do other things. Yes, there might be some increase in costs, but nothing that we're really going to feel.
On day one or day two, within the first few days that Trump is in office, do you think he should pick up the phone, call President Xi? And if so, what do you think that conversation should look like?
The answer is no. We have been picking up the phone and talking to the Chinese for decades. And although it sounds responsible, it has produced one disaster after another. If you want good relations with the Communist Party, if it's possible, it's only possible if we impose severe costs. We have to give the Chinese incentives to want to talk to us and to actually cooperate in ways which are responsible. So although, it's nice to say, well, yeah, communication is great, it has not produced the results that everyone in New York and Washington said would occur. We have to start thinking of some very different ways of dealing with the Chinese, because what we're doing is obviously not working.